I'm a big fan of vertical shoot-'em-ups. I'm also a fan of vertical shoot-'em-ups based on things other than aliens and spaceships, and I'm an even bigger fan of low-cut tops. Ergo, I'm a big fan of PHELIOS. Released to the Sega Genesis way back in 1990, PHELIOS is a shooter with a unique theme. No asteroids, no planets, no little green men, but flying horses instead. Namco released this game to arcades about 2 years prior to porting it to the Genesis, where the game fit right in. There were a lot of cool non-space shooters on Sega's console, and this is definitely one of the coolest. You play as Apollo, who rides on Pegasus and shoots fireballs from a sword. That's pretty badass. You know what's even more badass? Apollo's banging Artemis in this game, despite the fact that that's completely factually inaccurate. And you know, the facts are important when it comes to Greek gods. Anyway, you have to save Artemis with your fire-breathing sword, and that happens within the framework of a pretty typical shoot-'em-up. The only major differences in PHELIOS are really the Greek theme, the fact that you can sustain a little damage thanks to a health bar, and of course the game's art. PHELIOS just looks cool. It's a colorful game with some awesome sprites, and again, pixelated cleavage. Of course, it's also a really tough game. In fact, PHELIOS has 2 different game modes. There's an easy mode, which only gives you access to some of the levels, and a harder mode, which includes the entire game. We're playing on easy here, but I mean, you wouldn't know it. We're terrible at this. Nonetheless, the game's a lot of fun, and we have to thank our good friend Benjamin from Buffalo, New York, for sending it in. We actually had never played PHELIOS before, and it was cool to finally get destroyed by it. A memorable experience, Benjamin. PHELIOS is the kind of game that, as a Super Nintendo owner, I didn't see much of in those early 90s glory days, but it's a very good one, and it still plays well enough to be worth picking up today. If you can find PHELIOS, buy PHELIOS, and then enjoy the ride. On a flying horse. This is awesome!